For decades, millions of Filipinos have left home in search of better opportunities abroad. They became nurses, caregivers, healthcare workers, technicians, and skilled professionals who helped support economies across Europe. Many sacrificed years away from their families, believing that hard work would eventually lead to stability and a better future. But in 2026, that future is beginning to look less certain. Across Europe, immigration policies are changing. Some countries are introducing stricter requirements. Others are becoming more selective about who they allow to stay. And while no government is openly saying Filipino workers are no longer welcome, many workers are starting to feel that opportunities are becoming harder to reach than they once were. Today, we're revealing 10 countries where Filipino workers are facing growing challenges, increasing uncertainty, and changing immigration realities. Some of these countries may surprise you, but when we reach country number 4, you'll discover a decision that shocked many workers who thought their future plans were secure. Let's begin with a country that still offers opportunity, but where many Filipinos are starting to wonder if the road ahead is becoming much more difficult. Number 10. France. For many Filipino nurses, caregivers, and healthcare workers, France has long been viewed as a country full of possibilities. With an aging population and continued demand for healthcare services, opportunities have existed for skilled workers willing to build a life there. Many Filipinos have successfully established careers, supported their families, and become valuable members of their communities. But recently, some workers have begun noticing a different reality. While France continues to welcome foreign talent in many sectors, the process of building a long-term future has become more demanding. New requirements, stricter expectations, and increasing emphasis on language proficiency have created additional challenges for workers hoping to secure permanent stability. For newcomers especially, the journey can feel more complicated than it did just a few years ago. The concern is not necessarily about finding work. In many cases, jobs are still available. The concern is what comes afterward. Can workers secure long-term status? Can they confidently plan for the future? Can they bring their families and build permanent roots? For many Filipinos, France remains a country of opportunity. But opportunity alone is not enough. Stability matters too. And for some workers, that sense of stability feels less certain than it once did. Number 9. Belgium. For many Filipinos working abroad, success is not measured only by a paycheck. It is measured by family. The ability to bring a spouse, support children, and build a future together. That dream has attracted many Filipino workers to Belgium over the years. With its strong economy, high quality of life, and demand for skilled workers, the country has been seen as a stable destination for those looking to establish long-term roots in Europe. But recently, that sense of stability has begun to feel less certain. Belgium has become part of a broader European conversation about migration, border control, and social integration. As political leaders debate how much immigration the country should accept, many foreign workers are paying close attention. While these discussions are not aimed specifically at Filipinos, they have created concerns about what future policy changes could mean for workers already living there. For many families, the biggest fear is uncertainty. Not knowing whether bringing loved ones over will become harder. Not knowing whether future opportunities will be as accessible as they once were. Belgium still offers opportunities, but many Filipino workers are beginning to wonder whether the country they chose years ago will look very different in the years ahead. Number 8. Sweden. For years, Sweden built a reputation as one of Europe's most welcoming countries. It was known for its strong social programs, high living standards, and opportunities for healthcare workers from around the world. For many Filipino nurses and caregivers, Sweden represented more than a job. It represented security. But recently, a growing number of foreign workers have found themselves facing unexpected challenges. Immigration policies have become stricter, permit renewals have become more complicated, and some workers who believed they had secure futures suddenly found themselves facing difficult questions about their long-term status. The situation has created anxiety throughout parts of the Filipino community. Many workers followed every rule, paid taxes, and contributed to their communities, only to discover that staying permanently is not always guaranteed. Even though Sweden continues to face worker shortages in certain sectors, many foreign workers feel that the path forward is becoming harder to predict. For Filipinos considering Sweden, the opportunities are still there, but the confidence that once surrounded those opportunities is no longer as strong as it used to be. And for many families, that uncertainty may be the biggest challenge of all. Number 5, Norway. When people think about Norway, they often think about safety, prosperity, and opportunity. It consistently ranks among the world's best countries for quality of life, making it an attractive destination for workers seeking stability and financial security. For Filipino workers, Norway has offered opportunities in industries ranging from healthcare to seasonal work. But like many European nations, Norway has become increasingly focused on controlling immigration and ensuring that foreign workers meet stricter requirements before entering the country. These changes are not necessarily dramatic, but they are noticeable. Workers now face more structured processes, tighter documentation requirements, and fewer opportunities for flexibility. For those hoping to move abroad quickly, the process can feel more challenging than it did just a few years ago. What concerns many workers is not whether Norway still needs foreign labor. It clearly does. The concern is whether future policies will continue making the path more complicated. As Europe becomes increasingly cautious about migration, many Filipinos are wondering whether Norway's stricter approach is simply the beginning of a larger trend. Number 6, Italy. Few European countries have a stronger connection with the Filipino community than Italy. For decades, thousands of Filipinos have built successful lives there, working as caregivers, healthcare professionals, and support workers. Entire communities have formed across cities like Rome and Milan, creating a sense of belonging far from home. That is why recent changes have attracted so much attention. While Italy continues to welcome foreign workers in several sectors, new requirements and stricter procedures have added additional layers of complexity for those hoping to settle permanently. For some families, what once felt like a clear path forward now feels less certain. Many workers are discovering that building a life abroad involves more than simply finding employment. Bringing family members, securing long-term status, and planning for the future can now require greater patience and preparation than before. These challenges do not necessarily mean opportunities are disappearing, but they do mean that the journey is becoming more demanding. Italy still remains one of the most important destinations for Filipino workers in Europe. Yet many families are beginning to realize that the road ahead may require more effort than they originally expected. Number 5, Norway. When people think about Norway, they often think about safety, prosperity, and opportunity. It consistently ranks among the world's best countries for quality of life, making it an attractive destination for workers seeking stability and financial security. For Filipino workers, Norway has offered opportunities in industries ranging from healthcare to seasonal work. But like many European nations, Norway has become increasingly focused on controlling immigration and ensuring that foreign workers meet stricter requirements before entering the country. These changes are not necessarily dramatic, but they are noticeable. Workers now face more structured processes, tighter documentation requirements, and fewer opportunities for flexibility. For those hoping to move abroad quickly, the process can feel more challenging than it did just a few years ago. What concerns many workers is not whether Norway still needs foreign labor. It clearly does. The concern is whether future policies will continue making the path more complicated. As Europe becomes increasingly cautious about migration, many Filipinos are wondering whether Norway's stricter approach is simply the beginning of a larger trend. Number 4, Denmark. This is the country that surprised many observers the most. Denmark has spent years promoting itself as a country that values skilled workers, especially in healthcare. Hospitals, nursing homes, and care facilities have all faced staffing challenges, leading many people to assume that foreign workers would continue playing an important role in filling those gaps. That is why recent decisions have left many people confused. Despite ongoing discussions about labor shortages, Denmark has significantly limited opportunities for certain foreign healthcare workers coming from outside Europe. For Filipino nurses who spent years preparing qualifications, improving language skills, and planning careers abroad, the news came as a major shock. The contradiction is difficult to ignore. On one hand, employers continue talking about worker shortages. On the other hand, some pathways that foreign workers once relied on have become far more difficult to access. For many Filipinos, Denmark was never viewed as a risky destination. It was considered stable, organized, and welcoming. That is exactly why these changes caught so many people off guard. And for some workers who were counting on opportunities there, the future suddenly became much less certain. Number 3, Switzerland. Switzerland has always attracted attention for one simple reason: opportunity. High salaries, strong public services, and an excellent quality of life have made it one of the most desirable destinations in Europe. But while Switzerland remains attractive, gaining access to those opportunities is becoming increasingly difficult. The country continues to maintain strict limits on the number of non-European workers who can enter each year. As a result, competition for available positions is intense. Even highly qualified workers may find themselves waiting longer, facing additional requirements, or competing against applicants from around the world. For Filipino professionals, this creates a frustrating reality. The jobs may exist, employers may need workers, yet securing permission to enter and stay remains a challenge. Many workers spend months preparing applications without knowing whether their efforts will ultimately succeed. Switzerland has not closed its doors completely. Far from it. But many Filipinos now see it as a destination where opportunity still exists. Yet reaching that opportunity has become significantly harder than before. Number 2, Germany. Germany remains one of Europe's economic powerhouses and continues to face labor shortages in several industries. For years, Filipino nurses, healthcare workers, and skilled professionals have viewed Germany as one of the best places to build a stable future. However, the reality is becoming more competitive. As Germany works to balance labor shortages with domestic priorities, some workers are finding that opportunities are no longer as straightforward as they once appeared. Employers continue hiring internationally, but applicants often face more competition, longer procedures, and higher expectations throughout the process. For many Filipinos, Germany still represents hope. The demand for skilled workers remains strong, and success stories continue to emerge. Yet there is also a growing awareness that securing those opportunities now requires greater preparation and persistence. The country has not turned its back on foreign workers, but many Filipinos feel the environment is becoming more selective. And when a destination as important as Germany begins to feel harder to access, people everywhere start paying attention. Number 1, United Kingdom. For generations of Filipino workers, few destinations have carried the same reputation as the United Kingdom. The UK became home to thousands of Filipino nurses, caregivers, and healthcare professionals who help support hospitals, care homes, and communities across the country. Many built successful careers, raised families, and established deep roots. But over the past few years, the landscape has changed dramatically. New immigration rules, changing visa policies, and growing political pressure to reduce migration have created uncertainty for many foreign workers. Some who once felt secure now find themselves questioning what the future holds. Others worry that opportunities available only a few years ago may become increasingly difficult to access. What makes the UK's position so significant is its influence. When one of the world's most popular destinations for Filipino workers becomes harder to navigate, people notice, families notice, communities notice, entire industries notice. The United Kingdom still offers opportunities, but for many Filipino workers, the confidence that once surrounded those opportunities is fading. And that is why the UK takes the number 1 spot on today's list. Behind every work permit is a story. Behind every visa application is a family hoping for a better future. And behind every policy change is a real person whose life may be affected in ways that statistics can never fully capture. The countries on today's list have not completely closed their doors. Many still need skilled workers. Many still offer opportunities. But what we've seen is a clear trend. Across parts of Europe, the path that once seemed straightforward is becoming more complicated, more competitive, and in some cases, more uncertain. For Filipino workers, preparation has never been more important. Understanding the rules, staying informed, and planning carefully could make all the difference in the years ahead. Now we want to hear from you. Which country on this list surprised you the most? Do you think opportunities for Filipino workers in Europe are becoming harder to access? Or do you believe the situation is being exaggerated? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have friends or family members currently working overseas, consider sharing this video with them. The information they learned today could help them make important decisions tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.